Ladies and gentlemen, it is Wednesday, August 14th. Welcome back to the breakdown where we talk about every single MLB game on the slate. We got some early games today, a full action-packed card. As always, my name's Austin. We're going to talk about every game, and we're going to give you out some leans, some picks, some predictions, and everything in between. And then, as always, we wrap up the video talking about some guys that are swinging super hot bats, including this guy on my shirt, Aaron Judge. Then we're talking about some guys that literally look like me at the plate. And then we'll end up with some good and bad matchups and everything and fun and have a good time. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. Typically, we do post our best bets video right after this one. And we just recorded that 7 picks today. So stay tuned for that video. If you want all our official picks, it'll be in the best bets video. But I do enjoy going through every single game. So let's do that in just one moment. I do want to note we're posting an NFL future every single day until the season starts. So we got about 22, 23 futures. I don't know if I'll find that many I like, but we'll at least try our best to find some things, some long shots and things like that. They're on the YouTube shorts. So if you want to go check out those, you can. Today I have another one, and it's an under for the full season. I really like that pick, though. But let's dive into the picks, and let's talk about these games. First thing, as always, we're going to have a parlay play entry at the end of the video. Been getting unlucky on these last few, but we're going to cash one of them. And today we're taking advantage of one of their bonuses. They got a couple guys to go 10x for home runs. So again, if you want to send it for parlay play, be sure to use our code COS or the link in the description. You get a 100% match on your first deposit up to $100. $100 free potential there, or 50, however much you deposit, they'll match you up to 100. Take advantage of that and tail my entry at the end of the video. It's a good one, only for $10 to win 130. Let's dive into the games though today. Today we have the Twins taking on the Royals. First game of the day, a 110 start, 8.5 total. Basically pick 'em. Honestly, Cole Reagans, I'm not surprised to see him in a pick 'em given how the Twins have done so far in this series. Won the first 2. Louis Varland will go for Minnesota today. Louis Varland kind of sucks, I'll be honest there. I mean, you don't just earn, you got to earn a 6.5 ERA. He's not great. But the Twins are swinging hot bats, so I wouldn't be shocked if Cole Reagans maybe runs into a little bit of trouble here against the Twins. Again, I do think he can handle things. I mean, look, they need a win here in this series in a big way. Obviously, Kansas City been really good against righties, but we talk about Kansas City. Their offense on the road is just not the same as it is at home. Like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if in a year or so it's like, oh, Kansas City was cheating at home. I'm not calling them out, but hey, wouldn't shock me at all. But again, probably not a game I'm picking. I do lean the Royals here. I think they have the better pitcher. Batters in terms of that, I feel like the offenses are pretty even here. You just never know which offense you're getting on their respective days. I do like the Royals a lot more though. Here, if I had to bet anything in this game, it'd probably be Royals money line. I know they haven't been good against teams not named the Tigers and White Sox, but I think they get a win here with Cole Reagans on the mound. This is a must win for the Royals team. Next game, let's go back to this one. Rockies and Diamondbacks. An early start here for this game, obviously being played out in Arizona. Yesterday, Diamondbacks game stormed back again, won in the walk-off fashion in the bottom of the ninth, scoring 2 runs. Today we have 2 guys that haven't been pitched too well. Tanner Gordon versus Jordan Montgomery. Now, I do have a pick, actually 2 in this game in the best bets video. It's a little bit tricky what I picked in that one, so actually I'll save it and watch the best bets video so you can understand what I picked there. I do like runs in this game. I think the Rockies can put up some runs. I think the D-backs can put up some runs as well. Tanner Gordon is absolutely terrible. I don't necessarily know if he's a lefty. I think he actually is a righty, so maybe you can adjust those splits, but Arizona's been really, really good against righties as well. I think there's runs in this game. Colorado's bullpen has been terrible. I did lose on the D-backs -1.5 yesterday. Probably they'll cover today because that's just how it be, but I think there's runs aplenty in that game. Like I said, I have 2 picks in that one. Go check out the best bets video posted probably right after this one within like 20 or 30 minutes. Next game, we have Pirates and Padres. Yesterday, we were on the over in this game. Plenty of base runners early, just no timely hits. They won like 1 for 12 combined runners in scoring position. You better believe we run it back on the over, so I'll be back on the over in this game. Mitch Keller been pretty bad on the road this year. That ERA goes up from 3.2 to like a 4.5. Martin Perez, he is what he is. He's going to be a 4.5 ERA guy. Going to give a lot of base runners and opportunities to their batters. And now, obviously, teams can figure out what they're going to do. Maybe Martin Perez gets some of those outs. But given it's a team of the Pirates that obviously had Martin Perez, now he is a Padre. I imagine they know the pitches that Martin's going to want to go to with runners in scoring position. So hopefully the Pirates can finally get some timely hits for an over here. They've been all right against lefties. Padres have been pretty good against righties. Haven't really fully figured it out in this series. But Mitch Keller, like I said, not been great on the road. Pirates bullpen hasn't been great either. I think there's runs aplenty in this early start out in Petco Park. Next game, we have the Red Sox taking on the taking on Texas Rangers. Had it mixed up here. I'm putting TBD for Texas. It does appear to be Dane Dunning, but don't quote me on that. I do at the end of the video have a couple guys that have good splits against Dane Dunning. However, it's not confirmed to be him, but obviously he's not really been a full-time starter for the Rangers, but they've been having some injuries in that pitching staff, so I think he starts today, or at least opens versus Tanner Houck. Houck obviously was really good, but he has been pretty bad recently. Rangers, I can't ever trust them to score in the first 5, but that for whatever reason seem to spawn into the 6th and 7th inning and score runs there. There's a reason I'm not backing them ever for first 5, both to score 1+ runs. I'm not doing it. They refuse to score in the first 5. They score plenty in the 6th. Don't worry. And that just will aggravate me. Again, I like runs here. Rangers bullpen have been pretty bad, and this seems to be a bullpen game here with obviously Dane Dunning projected to start. Then you have the Red Sox bullpen, which hasn't been much better, and Tanner's not been pitching too well either. So again, I think the game went over yesterday. I think it goes over again today. Not sure it's worth laying -165 on the money line for the Red Sox, to be honest, but like I said, I do like runs in that game. Next game, we have the Nationals taking on the O's. You have Dean Kramer versus DJ Hurst. Obviously, yesterday, if you bet the O's, well, you're trying to find a way to get back your money because those lost like 10-2 or something stupid like that. The Nats, I told you yesterday, I thought they would win a game in this series, and they did just that in the first game. Don't know if this is the one they win. For whatever reason, Dean Kramer gets crazy run support when he's out there, so I actually like it over a lot in this game. Baltimore's bullpen's been terrible. They have crushed lefties, and they're facing a lefty in DJ Hurst today. So hammer the over for me. I won't have it on the official pick card, but I really like this game for runs. I think the O's could realistically put up 7 or 8. And Dean Kramer, while he will get some run support from the O's, he's liable for giving up some runs, and that O's bullpen is terrible. They'll give up their fair share in case Dean Kramer masterclass happens. You could still maybe count on that O's bullpen for maybe 2 or 3 runs, which could be the difference in cashing an over at 9, probably going up to 9.5. Next game, we have a line in the sand game for the Phillies. Marlins, Phillies could not score yesterday. They lost 5-4, 5-0. Today, they get Edward Cabrera. Now, call him what it is. Cabrera, I personally don't think he's good. I think he has strikeout stuff, but against teams that don't strike out, he's going to get cooked. Now, in his last start against the Padres, he had a lucky horseshoe up his you-know-where because that man gave up so many 100-plus exit velocities, he just happened to get them right to his infielders or right to his outfielders. Phillies are not an offense that I really trust, honestly, and I would be on something Phillies related today if they didn't just get goose-egged yesterday and have not looked good and lost, 4 straight games. So I'm not on them, but I do think that they get some... They got to get going eventually. I like Trey Turner for bases today. If you want to take Trey Turner, he just is swinging a cold bat. I will note, if Trey Turner gets some hits today, maybe 1 or 2 hits, or cashes his base prop, he'll be on the card probably tomorrow for bases against the Nats, a team that he always cooks. But he's been swinging a cold bat, but he's back at home here where he swings a much hotter bat. Again, Phillies, not a team I want to trust. Don't want to lay -185, but I think if something's going to happen, they got to get something going. And it could be against Edward Cabrera, a guy that will either walk you or he's going to try to strike out you, but he's going to throw it right down the middle of the plate. You just have to do something with it. And the Phillies haven't shown the ability to do anything with it recently, but maybe today's the day the Phillies finally break out of their slump. We'll see. Speaking of breaking out of slump, Mariners Tigers. If you took Mariners yesterday, well, don't worry. You had a sweat-free losers. George Kirby put up the Patrick Corbin triple-double. You give up 11, 10 earned runs, whatever it was yesterday. Got cooked. Today, you have Brian Wu taking on Bo Brisky, who's expected to start or open for the Tigers. Now, I love Bo Brisky, but if I can be honest, hopefully he's not watching. He kind of sucks. Don't tell him I said, but he's not been good. Brian Wu has pretty solid numbers on the year. However, the Tigers did just see him, and they put up 3 earned runs on him then in 6 2/3. And now they'll see him again. And we saw what happened when they saw George Kirby again. I think this is a game that runs are scored. I like an over once again. Brian Wu has been really good, not as good on the road. And Bo Brisky, I don't know how far he pitches in this game. I imagine if he sucks, he's only going 1 or 2 innings, and we'll see who comes after him. But the Tigers' bullpen's all right behind him. I think there's runs in this game. Look, the Mariners don't have a high batting average versus righties, but decent OPS and WRC+. And the Tigers, I'm not sure if I'm confident that they can put up 15 runs again, but their numbers are very inflated from yesterday. But I think they can get something on Brian Wu. I mean, look, they did it to Kirby after seeing him 2 straight times. Maybe they can do it to Brian Wu today. We'll see. Not my favorite lean that I've given out in this video, but I do like an over in that one. Next game, I honestly like a lot of overs today. Reds and we have Cardinals taking on the Reds. Now, technically, if you look at your book, you'll see Carson Spears is not the listed starter for the Reds. He appears to have an opener. Emilio Pagan. Don't quote me on that being his first name, but Pagan should open. Kyle Gibson is just a guy I want to fade straight up here. I think that after 2 straight lower scoring games in the series, I think this is the one that goes over. Kyle Gibson is not good. I'm going to be honest. He throws it right down the middle of the plate. The Reds' bats are heating up a little bit. Obviously, Reds a lot better at home than they are on the road. And St. Louis can put up some runs against Carson Spears. He's not good. He also throws it over the middle of the plate. And while the Cardinals haven't been great against righties recently, I think they figure something out and get at least 2 or 3 on Spears, get to the bullpen where the Cardinals and Reds, both their bullpens are hit or miss. Depending on what you're getting, familiarity there with both teams obviously playing in the same division and seeing those arms pretty frequently. And I don't know if we'll see some guys pitch again for the second or whatever straight day in a row, or 2 times in the last 3. I think there's runs here. I think St. Louis's offense is going to wake up eventually. This could be the game they wake up, especially against Carson Spears, guy that honestly I don't think is all too good. He either gives up like 7 earned runs or he somehow weasels his way out of 0 or 1 or something like that. I think maybe it's a day Cardinals put up some runs. Alec Burleson has his bases prop pretty juiced, although I don't know if he deserves that, but it's been pretty good for the Cards this year. Let's see if he can do something. Next game, we have Cubs and Guardians. Now, yesterday, after scoring a ton of runs on Monday, yesterday the runs dried up against 2 guys with decently high ERAs. Today, you have Jameson Taillon against Alex Cobb. Cobb take a 7.7 ERA with a grain of salt. Only 1 start on the year for him. Obviously, didn't pitch too well. Jameson Taillon's been steady for the Cubs. It doesn't struggle against lefties. Obviously, he's going to see a lot of lefties here. Guardians' bats are always hit or miss against righties. They're getting the timely hits, and I think they get some hits up on Taillon. I don't know if I want to lay minus 145 on Guardians ML. I don't like Alex Cobb. I would lean an over here. I think there's runs. Not a game that I really have a good strong lean on here, if I'm being honest. I don't think Cobb's great. Obviously, back from injury, second start. You're not really expecting big things from him, and the Cubs have been decent against righties. Jameson Taillon's honestly not a bad pitcher. I could fall in love or maybe fall into back in the Cubs on the underdog money line here. Wouldn't really shock me a ton. I think this could be a game they get. I mean, what they're trying to avoid getting swept. I just don't like betting against the Guards. The Guards just find a way to get things done. And it could be now if Manuel Clase pitched today, they don't care about him at all. What does he pitch? 4 straight days, 4 straight saves or something like that? Don't pitch Clase today. He does not need to pitch. So maybe that's where the Cubs maybe find a difference there late in that game. Again, probably not my favorite one on the card. Not a game I have a big, strong lean on. Next game, we've Astros taking on the Rays. After 2 straight very low-scoring games, actually, the first game had 7 runs, yesterday only 4. This is a good spot, I think, to back and over. The fact the Rays are only plus 105 against a team that everyone's willing to back the Astros at minus 120, minus 125. They don't know Blanco on the list, on the bump. I think that's the game the Rays steal. However, I think the safer play is taking an over here. If you can get at 7.5 or 8, certainly can do that. Sure, the Rays haven't been good against righties, but what the Rays are good at, being patient, which Ronel Blanco's been walking a lot of guys. And while they haven't been getting the timely hits, eventually that's going to change. And they got Junior Caminero up there. So maybe they get some timely hits against Blanco, a guy they just saw. Blanco, I want to say, has 2 earned runs and 8 straight, 2 or more earned runs at 8 straight starts. They just saw him. We got 2, I think, on him early in August. So obviously seeing a guy second time around, going to hit him a little bit better. Zach Littell, Houston just saw him as well. He pitched decently against him, 5 2/3, 1 earned run. But Littell, again, when you see a guy 2 times in a row, not a guy with crazy strikeout stuff, I think you make adjustments and we'll see the advantage go to the offense. Houston, top 10. You need to get some more timely hits in there, but we know Houston's capable of putting up 7 or 8 runs by themselves. But again, I think the Rays, being barely an underdog, haven't lost the first 2 games of this series. Maybe this is when they steal. I think that there's runs in this game. Sure, the bullpens look like they've been really good on paper. There's runs left late in this game. I think the Rays bullpen could give up some runs. And same thing for the Astros. They just used 3 of their high leverage arms. You know, we're talking about Abreu and Presley and Hader. Today, they probably don't use those guys. And we see maybe some runs late in this game for the Rays. So maybe you see Astros lead through the first 5 or 6. Maybe that's where you see the Rays come back and win this game late. Next game, you have A's taking on the Mets. This is a game I like runs in. And I'll give you a spoiler. On the parlay of the day, which we've hit 2 straight, which I'll link at the end of the video once it is live, we will have a pick in this game, and it will be both these teams to score 1 in the first 5. I'll start with David Peterson. He's obviously taken on an Oakland Athletics team that has crushed lefties. You look at those splits, you're like, awesome, that's not crushing lefties. Batting 175. Very limited splits for them against lefties this month. They've only faced one guy, who's that Kai Bush guy for the White Sox, whose MO is just walk guys. I mean, he had like 3 hits allowed, but 5 walks. And the Oakland A's have scored 2 or more earned runs on 9 straight lefty starters. They've been cooking lefty. So don't let those 25th and 26th in stats hopefully jeopardize what you think about them. On the flip side, Joey Estes, if you're looking for a guy that's terrible on the road, it's him. He has a 7.5 ERA on the road. What is he doing? His earned runs line is 3.5 today. Now, the Mets haven't been good against righties, but back at home, I think they figure things out here. Obviously, the A's smoked him yesterday. What was that final score? 9-4 or something like that. I think we see runs in this game, but I'm really just thinking they come early on these 2 starters. Peterson, he is due some bad regression, some hard regression towards his numbers. Today could be that day. Next game I like runs, Dodgers, Brewers. We got a lot of dog meat pitchers on the mound today. Walker Buehler, speaking of dog meat, he's returning. Frankie Montas, he sucks too. These are 2 guys that are going to give up some runs. So, look, I'll spoil the parlay of the day. It's probably going to be both these last 2 games that scored 1+ runs in the first 5. Sure, the Dodgers haven't been great against righties recently, but numbers are improving. Milwaukee's been decent against righties. Couldn't get really the time they hit against Gavin Stone. Against Walker Buehler, pretty confident they can get things going there. I think there's runs in this game. Both bullpens are all right. Give me an over. Give me some runs early and often. Next game, we got Judge. And wearing his jersey. One of the picks is backing him in some capacity today. You got Will Warren, who's got a 11. Oh, 11. Yeah, he just got smoked by the Angels, man. Come on, we got to be better than that, Will Warren. Davis Martin will start. His numbers are ERA-wise better, but that whip's still pretty dang high. Yankees have crushed righties. White Sox quietly been better against righties recently. Again, this is a game that I don't know how you'll run out and take anything but runs, and more runs. Will Warren, he sucked against the Angels. You'll be like, oh, the Angels are better than the White Sox. Well, not really. Those teams are still as inconsistent as it gets. Maybe the White Sox get some runs going today. Obviously, they're big underdogs. I think Davis Martin gives up plenty of base runners today. I'm going to be on Judge bases over 1.5. Give it to me. I think he hits his 300th home run today. I would put him on the thumbnail today, but unfortunately, I will already have him on the thumbnail in the other video, I think. So the best bets, check out Judge. He's hitting a nuke today. Take it to the bank, baby. Next game, we have the Blue Jays taking on the Angels. I'm waiting for one of these games to go over. And Gosman pitched a masterclass yesterday. Carson Fulmer did not. He pitched a disaster class. So you got Jose Barrios and Tyler Anderson. Tyler Anderson has been not great recently. I just talked about the Angels. They haven't been good against righties, though. I mean, I swear if the Angels didn't have their start against Will Warren, probably, I don't know where those numbers would be. Honestly, extrapolate Will Warren's stat against the Angels, they might be 30th in every single metric. They are terrible against righties. Barrios, though, I got to be honest, Barrios is pretty bad. He is always liable for 2 or 3 earned runs. Tyler Anderson hasn't been great recently. ERA is still hovering around 3. Good for him. I think that ERA ends up closer to 3.5, probably by the season end. This is just, I'm avoiding this game. I mean, the fact the Blue Jays are barely priced as favorites or heck short underdogs here, count me out on that game. I don't want any piece of that. Finally, the last game on the slate. Braves taking on the Giants. What are the Braves? The Braves won the first 2 games in the series, I believe, both in extra innings. So you got Grant Holmes. If you haven't looked up Grant Holmes and his flow and his facial hair, definitely approve. He's always got my sign of approval. And you got Robbie Ray going. Now, normally I like Robbie Ray, but this is not a great spot for him against the Braves. They've seen 3 lefties in a row. They had Snell, Kyle Harrison, then Robbie Ray. I mean, those guys are going to get familiarity with the lefties at the plate. And San Francisco is terrible against righties. I don't need to tell you that. You see the numbers on the screen right next to my face. Against righties, they have sucked. So again, I'm probably back in the Braves. Their bullpen has not been great recently, but they're better than the 26th in ERA the last 2 weeks. They have the better offense and better matchup, in my opinion, and I like Grant Holmes. I think he's solid, so give it to me. That was what I would pick is Braves money line in that game. And finally, we wrap up with the parlay play entry, some hot and cold hitters and stuff like that. Start with the hot and cold hitters. Jake Burger, man, woo! Jake Burger absolutely crushing the baseball. 1.786 OPS. Absolutely destroying the baseball today. Gets Tyler Phillips. Maybe he continues that thing going. Aaron Judge hasn't had a lot of home runs recently, but 481 batting average, 1.278 OPS. Pretty dang good. A pair of Houston Astros. Hopefully they help the over. Bregman and Alvarez both crushing the baseball. Bobby Witt Jr. and Jorge Soler in there to round things out for the hot hitters. Again, I'm sorting things by OPS now instead of batting average because OPS is what we're looking for. If you want to back some home runs or some extra bases, 2+ bases, those are the guys you probably want to back because they're getting those extra base hits. Guys that you probably don't want to back, maybe you want to fade, Logan O'Hoppe. Brother, I could do what you've been doing. Give me your paycheck. I go out there and be 0 for 28. Probably can't be a good catcher, though. Jonathan India struggling still. Luis Robert Jr., Brandon Nimmo, Bryson Stott, Anthony Volpe. A lot of not great averages in here. Maybe they can figure things out today. Maybe one of those guys bust out of their slump. Logan O'Hoppe, you'll probably be faded in some capacity today. Maybe an underdog entry. Finally, some good and bad matchups. Now, despite me saying that Alex Bregman has been really hot, he does have not a great matchup. He's 0 for 6 against Lytle. Maybe he figures things out. Some other guys in the cold matchups. Corey Seager, struggling a little bit against Tanner Houck. Kyle Schwarber, not great against Edward Cabrera. Adam Duvall against Robbie Ray. Jerickson Profar, maybe he figures things out against Mitch Keller. And Rafael Devers, if he does see Dane Dunning, hasn't really hit him too well. Guys are scorching hot. Shohei Ohtani, he's crushed Montes. So is his teammate Mookie Betts right behind him. A couple pair of Reds, Ty France, the new Red, and Jake Fraley, and Travis Darnell. Not a great list of good matchups today, but definitely some guys that you can maybe have on your radar, maybe some home run picks. I mean, Travis Darnell, he's literally just a home run or bust. So if you're going to back a guy to hit a home run, maybe that's him. And Robbie Ray, we know he can give up some home runs. Finally, let's wrap up the video with a parlay play entry. A reminder, use code COS or the link in the description. 100% deposit match up to $100. Do it. What are you waiting for? You can tail this entry. This has Mookie and Shohei to get a hit. Obviously, we like them both. They have good splits against Montes. And the one leg in here is Alex Bregman in a home run. Now, sure, you could say Austin, he doesn't have a hit against Zach Lytle. You know what? I don't care. He's swinging a hot bat. And right now, parlay play is giving you 10x on Bregman to hit a home run, which gives you plus 900 odds to hit a home run. And you know what? Let's go see what odds that Mr. Bregman has these days to hit a home run on normal books. I imagine that he's going to be much lower than that plus 900, which is basically the odds that we're seeing given to us from parlay play. Yeah, Alex Bregman is at plus 500 on most books. So again, they do these promos every now and then. They sometimes do it with Shohei or Judge and whatnot. 10x value on a guy to hit a home run that's at plus 500. We can get plus 900. Hey, plus EV winners, where you at? So definitely check that out. $10 only on that to win 130. Bregman, I need a homer from you, and Shohei and Mookie, I need some hits from y'all. So you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. Again, we have 7 picks today, so go check out our best bets video, which should be live right after this one. I'll link it on the screen. You guys have a wonderful Wednesday. Let's have a wonderful day. And if you want to go check out our NFL futures, we have another one posting today. I posted a plus 1200 one yesterday. Go tap into that. I'll link it on the screen as well. Some YouTube short somewhere. Go show it some love. You guys have a great day. And comment on that video, that YouTube short, your guys' favorite futures, and maybe I'll dive into them, and maybe I'll throw a unit or two on them. But you guys have a great day. It's Austin signing out. Peace.